Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 383. It is Friday here in Cincinnati. It is beautiful. It started off really chilly this morning and the sun is out, sky's blue, spring is here. We are, I think, entering into a weekend of like highs in the 60s, and spring break is beginning for my husband, who is a teacher. So it is an exciting time, and astrologically we have some things moving. So tomorrow we move from Pisces into Aries, and we also have the vernal autumn equinox, which is all about balance, and Aries is all about completions of the old zodiac year, the beginning of the new one. It is a real time of transitions. Is that the right word? Transitions perhaps is a good description for it. So I arrived kind of tired today, and I was watching a video by this woman who has a channel called A New Era on YouTube. I really like how she presents energy through tarot cards. And she was saying much of what I've been feeling, which is it's been this strange week of sleep being disrupted, lots of dreams, waking up, being wide awake, then waking up in the morning kind of tired. Some of the days are really long. Other days feel like they just fly by. It's just been sort of a week of rolling with it the best we can. Or at least that's how it's felt to me. And staying as steady as possible, being still when I feel tired and moving fast when I feel like I've got a lot of energy to get some things done. Yeah, so I don't know if you have a match to that, but that is certainly what I've been experiencing. I also have had this awareness, as we have been talking a lot in the media and on the news about, it's been a cycle of almost a year now, pretty close to a year from when COVID first really entered, at least here in the States, our reality very powerfully, and transformed so much, has changed so much. And so that completion of that first year, it's kind of like when someone you love dies and you have all of those anniversaries. It's the first holiday, it's the first birthday, it's the first whatever it would be for you that is important, the first time you do this thing without that person that you love. I feel like we've all been through this collective cycle of 1 year of all of the changes that have moved through humanity and through every structure that establishes our humanity. Healthcare and education and finances and communities, relationships. Everything has really been, family structure has been brought up to be explored. And so we've made it through these firsts, and now Pisces is ending, Aries is starting. There's this shift into what does the world look like? I've been clearing my throat for the last half hour, so there is definitely something being shifted in me and released. So I apologize if I cough or, just have a lot of clearing in my throat. There's something that is releasing. But I feel like as we complete this first cycle of a year and we start to begin to open up to what's coming, what's next, what are we creating as a humanity from this point, there's so much still unknown, but there's so much we are now aware of in a different way, that the unknown is even different than it was a year ago. Everything just feels, I don't know, we could come to it from fear, like everything feels scary. because it's unknown, or we could say everything feels like a sense of anticipation, like everything feels possible. Anything feels possible. Now that we know we've made it through this, we could do anything. So what is it we actually want to be focusing on and creating? And I think that's a lot of what I have been experiencing this week. Excuse me. It is literally sitting right at my throat like a tickle. I don't know what words are going to be coming out of me today. It feels like for me, it has felt like this week has been up and down, up and down, up and down. And I've been exhausted by it because I feel this sense of a completion and a new portal opening. And so, there's a weariness that we experience, that I've been experiencing this week, with such a profound inner shift, with all of this external, astrological, societal stuff up in the air, trying to be processed, being talked about. There's so much that is moving, and our bodies, our minds, our souls get very weary when we feel so much shifting, I believe. And so I've been very kind to myself this week, and I encourage you to be doing the same if any of this is resonating with you. Go with what your body needs first. So if your body needs rest, if your body needs touch, if your body needs food or water or a certain herb or a certain food, like if there's a craving and that's all you can think about, maybe not necessarily sugar. Sugar is often more of an addiction than a craving that your body really needs that thing that it's craving. I know, because I've been craving ice cream all week, and I know that's pure addiction. There's really nothing in the ice cream that is supporting the health of my body. But it is bringing that self-nourishment, which is an important part. But give your body what it needs this weekend, next week. Be really kind to your body. It is the vessel that your soul chose for this human journey. And when your body is feeling exhausted, there's a reason that you're in that feeling of the body. There's some reason your body is putting the brakes on and saying, slow down. Slow down. Either you're moving too fast or you're not getting the cues that I'm sending you. And so we're going to be tired for a while until you get these messages. And once the body is nourished and supported, the vessel in which your soul is operating is healthier and stronger, then the mind and the soul can have their way. And then that's a whole separate conversation. The mind and the soul can duke it out in whatever ways they need to. But your body is the portal, the home, the way in which you get to play in this human journey. And when we don't pay attention to what it is saying to us, it's going to get louder and more. The words I'm hearing are in your face. It's going to get more in your face. It's going to tell you. Your body will create the experience that it needs. And maybe that's a long rest, in which case you might have to get ill in order to be resting for a while. You'll have your own experience with it. Aries is a fire sign. It's about action. And what may also be happening, which feels true from my experience, what's happening for me is sort of this gathering of reserves, of resources in my body to prepare me for all of this fire energy, this action momentum that comes with Aries. As I say that, I have to laugh. As I say that, we move into Aries tomorrow, and that's when my husband starts his spring break. And his version of spring break is this massive to-do list of all the cool things that he wants to prepare at our house so that when spring and summer are here, we're ready to roll. So I feel like maybe I've been resting this week to prepare for my husband's spring break to-do list. It's going to start tomorrow. I think I talked about this before. It'll only take an hour, Viv. Not. 5 hours later, step 1 is the only thing we've accomplished. And there's like 10 steps to go. I have to laugh. Yeah, my body's been preparing me for spring break. Maybe other people experience it the other way. Like they work really hard and then spring break is their downtime, their rest time. Not here. Oh, funny. So we are moving into Aries. Aries is such a powerhouse energy. I'm surrounded with beautiful, strong Aries. My son is one. I have many close friends who are fiery Aries magic, and they just can get so much done. And so as we prepare for all of this momentum that I want to keep sighing with like, okay, are we ready? Are we ready for what's arriving? That's what I feel, that as we move into this new zodiac year, we let go of the experiences of the past directly this past year? Can we let go of what was and begin a new cycle with new possibilities, stronger from what we have experienced in the last year, but not tied to it, not bound by that, not defined by it, just stronger from it? And so as we step into a whole new cycle, what is it? What is it that we want to be doing? And so that leads me to this topic for today's podcast. I was playing with different words or vibrations. Like I kept feeling it's about empowering each of us, empowering myself to be me and unique in the way that I do things, and empowering others through my example of how to be me, empowering you and how to be you, how to be more truly you in the way you express in the world. And so I've just kind of been sitting with some of the ways I would want to share that. And as I started my meditation, I call in the archangels as I begin my clearing process before the podcast. And I called in Archangel Gabriel like I do every single time. And I was like, okay, we don't have a lot of time because I was running late this morning. And so I really need to be concise. Like, what are we talking about? And instantly I heard the lyrics in my head to Frank Sinatra's I Did It My Way. And I was like, what? Frank Sinatra? We're going to tap into Frank Sinatra? But then I was just picturing this song. I don't remember if I read the lyrics here before, and if I have, it's okay because it's a different vibration in this moment. But when my son and I used to drive to school a year ago, 2 years ago, whenever that was, before he got his driver's license, even when he first got it, he didn't really want to drive a lot. But I would drive him to school in the mornings, and he would pick out the songs and, play music on our phone through the car. One of the best things that happened when I got my new car is I could play music from my phone. My old car, I couldn't do that. And then I upgraded and I was like, whoa, this is a whole new world where you can play whatever music you want and you're not bound by CDs and radio. Like, what is this limitation I've been under? And so we would kind of go back and forth on whose phone we were using. And he played often. He played I Did It My Way by Frank Sinatra. And we would have the volume way up and we'd both be singing like super loud the lyrics to this song. And I associate the strength and the passion and the fire that is my almost 18-year-old son with that song, with the lyrics of that song. So I'm going to read the lyrics and then we'll kind of see where the conversation goes from there. All right. And if you don't know this song, please play this song. I'll put a link in, but it's a classic. My Way by Frank Sinatra. And now the end is here, and so I face that final curtain. My friend, I'll make it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and much, much more. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do. I saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and much more, much more. I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. For what is a man? I'm going to add woman. For what is a woman? What has she got? If not herself, then she has naught. Not to say the things that she truly feels, and not the words of someone who kneels. Let the record show I took all the blows and did it my way. Isn't that amazing? I don't even know when he wrote it, a long time ago. And here we are. It's so appropriate still today. So here's why it's been coming up for me. And again, like, this podcast space is where I share my example of what's happening in my world, in my reality, through my filter with my energy. And there are matches, or you wouldn't be called to this message, this vibration. And so as you hear my story, always apply whatever you're feeling or hearing to your story. And so in that way, it's this beautiful exchange, this dialogue between us, where my energy pings something to you and you receive that ping, and it shifts something in you, and then you send out a different signal in your reality, your world. And so we're all expanding and aligning with these higher possibilities. Because I know when I sit in this space for this podcast, and I've done my energetic clearing before I start speaking, and I've called in Source, my soul, my higher consciousness, to stream and flow through me and to be articulated through the words that come out of my mouth. That consciousness that's moving through me is such a pure vibration of love. It's so connected. It's why it's called Gaia's love. It's so connected to this earthly realm, to how to be this embodied consciousness, soul, infinite love in this human form, in this energy field of Gaia. It's the consciousness that is moving through me, that I share in this space, is absolutely aligning Source, humans, humanity, and the earth, and finding in each week the words that express the vibration of what's happening on this planet most clearly, most concisely. And that the words give your mind something to chew on, right? Like in the song, the words give your mind something to chew on, but the vibration, the consciousness, the love, the energy that flows through the words, that flows through the sounds of the ocean waves that I always put in each of these podcasts, that sound vibration that comes into your awareness is, it's just pure. It's I'm like, what words can I even give you for that? It's Source in this here now moment that you're listening to it and receiving it, purely moving as a flow of energy through all who are listening. It's just this, I can see it, but I don't know the right words to. And that's the problem, right? Words. I can give you these words, but it doesn't always, it doesn't capture the vibration that's underneath the words. And so that's why the music of the ocean is always providing this rhythm, this hertz calibration. I don't even know what the hertz is, but it's a good one. The hertz vibration of the ocean and then my voice merging with that are creating a harmonic. That's the word I want. They create a harmonic. And that harmonic frequency is what is transmitted underneath the words to you whenever you are ready to receive and listen to this vibration. And I know my place in that. my place is to do this process that I've been guided to do, that I've perfected doing, to sit my butt down each week and be this vessel through which this harmonic flows. And as the harmonic is sent out as a offering of love from Source, from my soul, from the earth, we have this united energy of Source, Gaia, humanity, expressed as a harmonic out into the energy field of Gaia. And that harmonic is, it's like a salve or a lotion that emits into the collective vibration of 7.5 billion people. I need to check the numbers. Maybe we're up to 8 billion. It's like a salve or a lotion that goes out into the world, and the frequency that moves through me is always one of unifying, one of alignment. There is no conflict between Source, humanity, and Gaia. In the space that I hold, it's just here, we're all one. We're all one beautiful frequency, and I emit that out, and right? It does something. It does something to the collective consciousness. And the peacefulness I feel as I emit that out must have a resonance in you. There's some desire in you for that same peacefulness, some spark or seed of that in you. And when you receive this harmonic that I send out through my voice, through the podcast, it meets your seed of that same frequency and expands it. And so you feel more peaceful. You feel more light. You feel more joy. You feel more hope. You feel more connected. You feel Source in whatever way you define that, God or consciousness or love or the universe. You feel that in you. You feel the possibility, the hope of humanity as you, because you are part of humanity. And you feel the steadiness of Gaia, the vastness of Gaia. And for me, it's like there's no room in this frequency for fear about the end of the world. It isn't even anywhere on the radar. Like, it just isn't. And so to try to tap into it, you can't even get the logical thoughts to say this is what it would look like, because it just isn't. You know how people say it is what it is? Well, it isn't what it isn't, and the world is not ending. And maybe humanity will eventually evolve into something else, within Gaia's field, but Gaia isn't ending. And so all of that harmonic, that truth, all of that is emitted in this podcast, episode after episode. Can you believe we're at 383? Like, I'm kind of, it's so funny. I just realized I moved my hand to my forehead and I'm like scratching my forehead as I say that. Can you believe that we're at 383? As I scratch my third eye. How did we get here? Like, whoa. And we have so many more to go. And I have no idea what we're going to talk about in them. And it totally doesn't matter. Because each week the harmonic will present itself and the words, the construct of the energy will take form. And I'll be able to say what it is I'm supposed to say to the space. And the harmonic will guide it. And I just get to sit here in my vessel of this human body known as Viv and run this incredible energy through me and translate, and you get to sit and receive. Lucky you, lucky me. Like we get to be in this energetic soup together that is such a beautiful frequency, and our minds will get some stuff from it, and you'll have words or ideas or images that'll pop up as you're moving through your week because some word or image I shared was exactly what you needed, because the harmonic energy moving through me created that image or that word, so you would have it when you were ready to pull it forward with your mind. And so that word or image will bring you back into that space of peace somewhere in the next week as you're feeling overwhelmed or tired, like I have been. There's a way that your mind, body, this is good. My daughter caught me on this week. We're going to reframe this one immediately. This is so wise of her. She said to me, you know how I hope it's okay I'm sharing, but I think she would be happy to have this shared because this is a big deal. She said, you always say mind, body, soul when you describe the trinity of mind, body, soul in the human experience. I said, yeah. She's like, you always place the mind first when you do that. I was like, oh, shit. She's so right. I do. And of the three, the one I find to be the most important, the one that I believe should always be guiding the whole process, is the soul. And so I am going to start saying, based on my very wise daughter's recommendation, soul, body, mind. Flipping it around, because that feels so much more in alignment for me. So as your soul, thank you to my daughter, by the way. Isn't she brilliant? One little thing, and I'm like, what? What? Yes, that. So I believe that whatever I share here or articulate here, your soul, body, mind is receiving those images and words and examples and stories and whatever it is that feels relevant each week as I start talking. The energy that's guiding this gift of Gaia's love allows you to receive those nuggets and then put them somewhere in your awareness. And then when you have a moment where you're out of that frequency or bumping a little bit against the frequency, or the world just feels too chaotic, or whatever your words are, those images and examples and stories come forward, and your mind can go, oh yeah, I remember that, blah, 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 blah. And it'll shift the situation you're in, or the way you're experiencing the situation. And so there's just this magical alchemy that happens here. And I guess what I'm trying to do is sort of deconstruct it for myself so that I understand it better, or I see the way it's all put together more clearly. And also perhaps kind of a pulling the veil for you as a listener. Like, how do I see it, and what do I feel we are co-creating when I show up and tune in and create this audio and then send it out, and you arrive at whatever platform you listen through and start listening to it? What is the co-creation that then happens? How am I exchanging with you energetically? What does it feel like to me? And as I say all of this, does that feel true to you? And what does it feel like to you to receive this harmonic from the podcast? How does it play out in your journey? And I feel like when we have awareness, when the veil's pulled back a little bit for us to be able to see behind the scenes, which is the name of my husband's book that he wrote for teaching technical theaters. It's on Amazon. Isn't that amazing? So proud of him. Behind the Scenes is the name of his book. But I feel like that's what happens. We pull the veil back, or the curtain back, and we can see behind the scene, behind the projection of what the facade may look like from the outside. And when we see the workings of behind, of what's going on in the soul, body, mind of me, it allows you to be so aware of what's happening in your soul, body, mind as you receive this harmonic. And awareness is always power. Awareness is, it's like he says in the song, like, I may have bitten off more than I chew, or I may have bitten off more than I can chew, but I knew I was doing it as I did it. And so I still stand up proud. I still spit out what I don't need, but I know I made that choice and I did it my way. And I feel like this behind the scenes or transparency approach to living our human life, it's everything. It shows us how we are in the driver's seat of what happens while we're here on earth. There's zero room for victimization when this is the truth in the way I see it. The truth is the soul chooses to come here to Gaia. Source is where the soul comes from. So source is coming with the soul to Gaia. We choose a human body. We choose the environment. We choose the story that we're going to step into. We choose the gender, the race, the culture, the poverty or wealth level. Like, we choose all of it. And then we step into that story, into that timeline, into that life as a human. And now we have the soul, the body, the mind harmonizing. We're co-creating with all of these billions of humans. And we're in the energy field of Gaia. So it's one big, beautiful collaboration. And we're the ones that chose to come here. The soul chose to come be in this human journey. So there's no one to blame. It's just a choice. It's like, here we are. Here we are, and this is what we're in. And now what do we do with that? And this is where I feel like the lyrics to the song are so good. You're here. Well, you might as well do it your way. You might as well make the most of it. Why else are you here? Do it your way. Do it exactly the way that most aligns with you. And I feel like when it's the soul that's guiding that, when it's the soul, the body, the mind, instead of the mind, the body, the soul, when it's the soul that is in the driver's seat going, yes, this is why I'm here. This is my way. I know this is why I came to Gaia, to Earth. I'm going to follow this path. I'm going to take these steps that are going to take me in this direction. The soul functions at its highest expression. The mind often will limit us. It'll put us into this dance with ego that feels so crazy and chaotic. It'll have us compare with other people's storylines. It'll just bring all this shit up and then hold us in the shit. And then here we are wondering why we came to Earth and why it's so hard and why we're not enjoying it and blah. So when we can allow the soul more space, allow the soul this play with possibilities, with ideas, with storylines, the spaciousness of that allows something to be created that hasn't been dreamed of yet until your soul came to be here in this reality. Your way, the song, I did it my way, your way has never existed until you came to be the one in this flow that you're calling your way. There was no embodied infinite soul known as Vivienne in the year 1971 when I was born to come have this path until I chose to come have it and arrive and be in it. Here's a great example of this. This is a great example. My son again, my little teacher, my wise big teacher, he's taller than me now. Last night we made dinner I made dinner. I made dinner. He picked out the TV show to watch because it was just going to be he and I last night because my husband had some things for work. So we haven't done this in a while. We don't get a lot of just he and I time because he's busy and I'm busy in life. And so last night we agreed we were going to watch TV, and I told him, pick whatever you want, but just don't make it too violent because he's okay with really dark stuff. I don't really like the dark stuff. And so I said, pick whatever you want. So he picks this show called Community, and he went right to like I think it was the the third season, the fourth episode, or the fourth season, the third episode. I don't know. I don't know the characters, but he was giving me some of the background. And they were all going to the apartment of these two guys, and they were going to order pizza and hang out. Well, they decided to start playing Yahtzee, which I love Yahtzee, so I love that they were doing that. And the pizza delivery guy he pushed the button on the buzzer at the door. And so they all stopped and did nosies, and then they were trying to decide who's going to go down, who's going to leave the table and go down and get the pizza and bring it back up. So the one guy decides to flip a dice, and as he does that, he's telling each of the people which one they represent of the numbers. And then the other guy says, wait, we're going to create 6 different timelines in this moment. Are you sure you want to do this? And they're like, of course. So then they show all the different alternatives. Whoever had gone down to get the pizza, what would have happened in the reality at that table if that person had left? How would that have shifted the dynamic of what was going on at the table? It was one of the funniest things I've seen. And I don't even know the characters. I mean, my wise son, I need to stop saying little, my wise son, he just delivered huge teaching and content to me in a short 20-minute episode of Community while eating dinner. Which, by the way, I love that I'm talking about community teaching us. So much of my conversation this week, really for a few months, has been about the power of community and how fast we learn in community. But the show was amazing, and it just was showing me how one tiny shift creates all these completely different realities. And all of the players needed to be involved for all of those realities to exist. And so it's that way for us. Until you as a soul choose to come be here on Gaia and participate in this co-creation, your energy, your vibration at this time has never been created before. There is no one else like you. And as you bring whatever you're here to bring into this collective community of humanity, humanity is now different. Humanity has a new player, a new participant. And so you bring something to the table every single time you choose to be a soul in a human body. So what is it you're bringing to the table? And when you're here and you're contributing, there's an impact, a ripple that's made on all of those around you that impacts what they contribute and what they choose to create. And so we're all doing this together, and we could focus on, this is part of what I loved about the episode last night of Community. We could focus on other people and what their experience is, or we can really be true to ourselves. Like, what is it I choose to experience? Can I put my attention on really becoming still and quiet, and then knowing inside of me, what is my way? And am I willing to step forward? Here we have Aries, fire, passion, new beginnings, action. Am I ready to express myself in this human form in a way that is ever more authentic, ever more true to me? And so we have these beautiful lyrics by Frank Sinatra to guide us when we get a little wobbly, when we're not quite sure. Should we? Is it selfish? Should I do it my way? Should I do it someone else's way? You do it your way. You do it your way. And when your way is defined from this place of peacefulness, of clarity about your soul and your purpose, and how you're nourishing and respecting your body, and your mind is a partner to all of this, your way is going to be absolutely magnificent. Like Frank Sinatra level magnificent. Because you won't have regrets. You won't be looking back at the end going, oh man, I wish I had not gone down to get the pizza and just sat at the table and watched what was happening. You would have been like, hell yeah, like, my job was to get the pizza or whatever your role is. Yeah, isn't it exciting to feel the relief that it's okay to do life your way? Here's a big part of how this has been playing out for me specifically. So on Saturday last week, I created the new moon Zen card pull and then the meditation that went with it, which was so good, so good. If you just listen to one of my meditations ever, that would probably be the one I would suggest, because it was all about the mind. It was all about the soul. Well, in the meditation, it was the mind first, then the body, then the soul. But my daughters helped me rearrange it. So when you listen to it, you'll get even more from it because of that gift that she gave us. It was such a good meditation, and it's so simple in how to visualize this harmonic of soul, body, mind. So you can find it in my store under New Moon Magic, and it's well worth the $11. It'll be one you listen to over and over and over again. And then you'll have your own interpretation of it that will be so magical. But so last week, I spent most of my day on Saturday in this new moon energy, creating this content and just feeling like how good it feels and sharing everything. And then I'm trying to think what happened. I think I had some quiet time on Tuesday. I don't think it was Monday. I think it was Tuesday. And I was so tired, and so I just claimed Tuesday as a day. It was Tuesday as a day to just be still and catch up on messages and do some journaling and pull some cards and watch some videos and just breathe. Create some room for not so much mind and body activity, but just my soul to kind of dance for me, not for other people or for my clients or for other parts of my work, like just my own joy. And so I had some awarenesses that I was sitting with, like, should I be doing my work differently? Am I, there's so many, like Instagram has these reels, these short little clips. TikTok has these brief nuggets. Like, and someone has said to me, you should be doing reels on Instagram to kind of help promote your work in a different way and invite people into it. And so I was feeling into all that, like, am I doing it wrong? Should I have shorter videos? Am I talking too long? Is the podcast too long? I used to have the format of 10, 15 minutes every day, 5 days a week, but that just became too heavy for me, and I wasn't enjoying always having to think about what to talk about. And this feels easy. This format of just showing up and flowing energy feels so good. My Sunday meditations are a full hour. The energy healings that I do on Sunday for groups, it's a full hour. And I've had people say to me, maybe you should make it shorter. Maybe it should be 30 minutes. An hour is so long, and I don't know if the hour is actually serving. But the hour feels good to me. I need the hour. And so all of this has kind of been percolating. And then I saw my daughter and her roommates this week, and we were talking about TikTok. And how the attention span is so fast when you have to say everything so quickly in less than a minute. And even the minute they said was too long. I'm like, a minute video is too long? What? What? It's just such a different way of receiving information than how I like to receive it. And so I was kind of sitting with that, and then my son and he had a dentist appointment, and I was watching. This is probably the last time I'll go with him because he's almost 18 now. But I was just sitting watching the process that the dentist assistant goes through to make sure that his teeth are clean and that everything is healthy. And there's this rhythm to it. She's efficient. She zooms through it very quickly, but there still are these steps, the sequence that you go through to have a complete clearing. And so I've just kind of been sitting with all that. And this morning when I was tuning into the feeling for today and doing it my way, what I came to very peacefully inside of myself is my way is about spaciousness. It is this luxury of time, of not feeling pressured, of not feeling like there has to be a deadline. I've lived that way my whole life, that everything has to be done as quickly as possible, and we need to be efficient, and there's never going to be enough time, and there's blah 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 blah. And I've subscribed to that the majority of my life. And what I am learning, what I am embodying, is that time is not linear. Time is an illusion, that it's about the feeling of being fully present in the moment. That's where time exists. It's right here in this harmonic that I'm feeling. It's the joy, the beauty of flowing energy through me and having the experience of articulating it and sending the energy out. That is the magical place for me. That's my happy place. And I want to be in that happy place more and more, and share that experience with more and more people, so that they can experience time in a different way. So they can learn to trust their own flow the way I trust my flow, and have their beautiful experience, so that my way is pure magic, and it alights the spark of pure magic in you in your way. And so that length, the long videos of card reading, the long meditations, it's like I have found this magical place that I rest in, where the soul, the mind, the body, source, Gaia, we're all at peace. We're all absolutely synced up in perfection. And I've learned how to expand that container, that space, and hold it for like an hour, with others coming and going through that experience. Like, it's like bliss. Like, I experience bliss and then can hold that container for others to experience it, and I just keep expanding how long we can sit in it, and it's so easy. So it feels so good. And so I don't want to shorten that. I don't want to contract that. I don't want to, create a 15-second TikTok that tries to TikTok, condense this experience. Yeah, I mean, maybe Instagram Reels will be fun, and maybe I'll explore them. And in this moment, I'm like, I got painting to do, we're going to be redoing our kitchen. Like, that's where I need to be spending my time, not trying to understand Reels. And, it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. And right now, it's simply the vibration of this space that is sending its own frequency out. And I don't have to manage that frequency or try to compact it or give you a bite-sized nugget of it. Like, you dip in, you experience what you want, and leave when you're done. And in the meantime, I'm right here loving all of it, doing it my way, which is so awesome. Yeah. So there you go. There you go. I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, I don't have any more words, so that must mean that the vibration is complete, because I'm good. I'm assuming you are good also. Okay. Yeah, I would say if there's any action steps for you from this space, it would be go listen, go exchange, because it's worth it. Go listen to the meditation from last Saturday, from the new moon in Pisces, and perhaps it can be a gateway from the completion of what has been in this last year into the possibilities of what we are creating together for the new zodiac year. Perhaps that meditation can help you find greater balance, which is what the equinox is about tomorrow. Greater balance within yourself, within your own harmonic of soul, body, and mind. Yeah, there's your action step. So easy. And then just journal, reflect, just sit with what it brings up in you and share the vibration, talk about whatever comes up, expand this harmonic, this frequency that I'm emitting. And yeah, let's see what this next cycle brings, huh? I think it's going to be beautiful. The New Era video I was watching earlier, she pulled the happy, happy card. I'm like, yes. She said it's the happily ever after card. I'm like, that's how I feel. Happy, happy. It's pretty spectacular. All right. Have a beautiful weekend, and I will see you next week. Thank you for tuning in to this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me on Sunday mornings for an hour of meditation, visualization, and energy healing, where we realign our mind, body, spirit with Gaia and Source. You can learn more at mysouljourney.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.